John Deere 300B backhoe. Leaky swing cylinder. I just replaced the seals on that other swing cylinder, and I'm getting ready to do this one. Water in the oil. Rumor had it the water was getting past these boots. They were tore up. They weren't even there really, so I replaced those boots. That's another job in itself. Hopefully we've stopped the leaks. C-clip comes off the top and the bottom, and it has to come off the bottom because that C-clip doesn't fit through that hole where that pin needs to drop through. Right here, grub screw, set screw, 1/8 inch Allen wrench, else this gland nut doesn't want to come out. I've rebuilt and resealed a lot of cylinders, hydraulic cylinders, but I've never seen a hydraulic cylinder quite like these. There's no snap ring holding the gland in, and the seal on the piston is actually a metal ring, like a piston ring. I don't have a gland nut tool, but the last guy that did it, hillbillied it with a punch. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get it off there, but we'll find out in a minute. We've got to disconnect these hydraulic lines, or just one of them on this end. This has a switchover hydraulic line that goes to the other cylinder so that the swing tire can swing back and forth. We'll disconnect the hydraulic line from this end so that we'll be able to pull the rod out. Since I don't have a gland nut wrench, I'm going to do it the same way the last hillbilly did it. I pulled the grub screw. I started it, loosened it a little bit with a punch because, like I said, I don't have a gland nut wrench. Pull these snap rings off. There's better ways to do it, but that works for me.
Water, Dad?
No, I'm good. Look at all these pieces of old seal. All kind of crap in there. You need to think about the environment when you do stuff like this. You see how that catch pan down there? Not. This is my driveway. I don't want the grass growing on my driveway anyways. And this is the different kind of piston I was telling you about. No impact required. This piston's held on with a snap ring and a key. Just pull that snap ring off there. If we can quit shaking. Then this key, snap ring holds the key. And this key slips right out. It's an L-shaped key. Then the piston just screws off. I've never seen one like this. I'm sure you guys have. It's probably common, very common, but I've never seen one. And I've resealed a lot of hydraulic cylinders. Never seen this setup. And this metal compression ring that I've never seen. Out of the way, dummy. This thing literally just screws off. It's the piston and nut all in one. You can see the rust from all the water in my system. Now the gland just slides off, especially when your seals are that worn. Look at that. Crunchy, crumbly. Wonder why it was leaking. Probably been in there since 1979. All right, I'm gonna go clean all this up and I'll be back. Now it's time to clean up a little bit. Gonna center that bushing up in that eye a little better. I'm gonna deburr that gland where the hillbilly messed it up with the punch. I'll clean both the inside and the outside because the burrs tend to lock up against the cylinder. Won't let you screw it on all the way or make it more difficult to get it off. There's a solid wear band in there that's underneath the seat for the wiper seal, so it's kind of hard to get to push out. Well, that was more difficult than it had to be. Oh, don't mess that up. Pain in the ass. I had cleaned all these pieces up in the parts washer and on the wire wheel. I had intended to go through this slowly and be more detailed about it, but it was 100 degrees in my shop, and all I wound up doing was just pulling out the old seals and putting in the new ones. I bought the seal kit on eBay, and it was the right seal kit. And I basically went just the way they came apart. New seal kit was a little bit different, but not much. If the old seals are in there right, you shouldn't have any trouble putting the new seals in where they go. Fuck around and break that yet if I ain't careful. This piece does not come in the kit, so you mess that up. For fuck's sake. Sucks not to have shoulders. And that's how you know it's tight enough. It stops going on. You have to back it up to the nearest keyway, which I'm going to say is right there. Hunt and hunt till we find our pieces, and that just lays in there like that. Snap ring holds the key in. The key keeps the piston from unwinding excessively at all. All right, now, a lot of times you'll see people clamping all these things so they can shove them back in that cylinder. But inside that cylinder, there's a bevel. There's a angle cut inside that cylinder, kind of like two-stroke cylinders. When you're putting new pistons in them, you don't need the ring compressor because it's tapered. Well, at the start of this cylinder, this is tapered, so we should be able to just push these straight in. This too. So no need for orange insertion tools because this type don't have the snap ring, internal snap ring. And no need for ring compressors because That's tapered to where it should push in. I guess we'll find out. All right, we got her all cleaned up, new seals greased up, ready to see if we're gonna be able to stick it back in there. I don't have any shoulders, so I can't really swing the hammer like I need to. There we go. Jesus. Now tomorrow I'm going to replace all the filters, the transmission and hydraulic filters and that little screen, and put new hydraulic oil in there. Going to be a big job with all those cylinders. Supposed to take about 12.5 gallons. And if you're wondering, That's the dipstick. And underneath the seat, behind and under the seat, is where you put the hydraulic oil in. These boots are replaced because they were letting water into the transmission, they say. It's a little bit of a struggle. Those knobs, they do screw on and off. And you can see where I was grabbing the shafts with the vice grips. My vice grips are kind of old. They didn't want to hold it. And I struggled with it. And then I realized if one vice grip is good, two vice grips better. So rather than one on the ball and one on the shafts, I put them both on the shafts. Got a pipe wrench after the ball and it screwed right off. Those balls are pretty dang hard. They're not plastic. They're made out of the same stuff I think pool balls are made out of, honestly. But you're not gonna mess them up by putting a pipe wrench on them. And two vice grips will hold them sticks from spinning. Just let them slap up against the other stick. Screw right off. That cover's held down by 4 bolts. Pull them 4 bolts and that stuff will slip right off. Then you got to put the boots in the shield, slip them over the tops of the shifters, slide it down. Most difficult part of this job is figuring out how to get them damn shifter knobs off those shafts that spin.